Hi, I'm Dr. Bradley Shepard from Simply Chiropractic, and I want to talk to you about a fantastic supplement. And the supplement is called Zypan. It is a standard process product. And for any of you that already know me, you know that I absolutely love the standard process brand of supplements. And Zypan is no exception. Zypan is great for digestive health. Now, one of the reasons why I take it is if I'm going to eat a meal that I know I'm going to get some heartburn afterward, like pizza or pasta or something like that, I'm going to take a couple of those Zypan with my meal so that I can help kind of decrease the stomach acid so I don't get the heartburn. Now, I said it decreases the stomach acid, but let me explain a little bit about what it really does, because what it really does is very counterintuitive. And it does help if we know a little bit about digestion and what happens in the stomach to really understand what this supplement does. So, in order to explain what the supplement does, we're going to have to go over a little bit of physiology. We're going to keep it really, really basic because I know, most of the people are here. We're not physiologists, right? We don't know everything that goes on, how the body works. We just know that it works, and that's good. And we want to keep the body working as best as it can. And a lot of things a lot of the supplements that standard processes use actually works with the body and instead of against the body. And so I think this will become apparent with Zypan as we talk about Zypan. So here we go. So when you eat food, it goes down into your stomach, and it goes down into your stomach, and your stomach should be a very, very acidic environment. It should have a pH of about 1.5 or so, and that's very, very acidic. It's about the acidity of hydrochloric acid, okay? And it needs that acidity for a couple of things. One, it helps break down all of the proteins in your food, and two, it activates an enzyme called pepsin that further helps break down those proteins. So you need that low pH for both of those things to happen. And when you eat food, what it's going to do is going to kind of dilute the contents of the stomach. It's going to raise that pH just a little bit. Now, if we eat a meal that has enough starchy or enough alkaline material where it really starts to neutralize those acids, then your body or that food stops digesting. It sits in the stomach. It doesn't pass through like it should. Clearance time for your stomach should be about 90 minutes. If you still have food in your stomach after about 90 minutes, you're not digesting it very well. So that food sits there, and if it's not digesting, it starts to rot. Okay. And then when it rots in your stomach, it creates these organic acids. And now these are acids that are different than what your stomach's used to. These are acids that aren't supposed to be in your stomach, and it irritates the stomach. And sometimes those acids, if they sit there long enough, they start to come up through your esophagus, and you start to get that heartburn or that acid reflux. Okay. The reason you're having that most of the time for most people is because they're not digesting their food. And so what the Zypan does is it acidifies your stomach. It pulls that acid level down again to make it more acidic so that your body will digest the food, and the food passes on through into your intestine. And so a lot of us think that when we have acid reflux, it means that we have an acid problem. And so what do? We take an antacid. Well, that does a great job of neutralizing the acid, and it makes you feel better momentarily. But guess what? It actually makes the problem worse in most cases. So what it does is it neutralizes the acid. So your stomach has to be acidic. There has to be acid in your stomach in order to digest food. So when we're neutralizing that acid, our next meal, we're not going to be digesting it better. It's going to be a worse digestion. And you can see that this perpetuates and maybe even makes the problem worse. Okay. And so with the Zypan, we're actually working with the body instead of against the body like the antacids do. And the proton pump inhibitors, they can be even more problematic, but that's a discussion for another time, another day. We're not going to have that discussion right now. But back to the Zypan. Zypan is going to acidify your stomach. And by doing that, it's going to support digestion. And there's other ways that it supports digestion along down the road. But again, that's a discussion for another day. I want to keep this video really short. So my go-to for any sort of problems, indigestion, heartburn after a meal, anything like that, Zypan is my go-to. I usually take 2 with a meal that I know I'm going to have heartburn, or I take it 1 or 2 just as needed a little bit later on after meal if I feel like I need it. So it's a really great supplement to use. It's really inexpensive. So if you have any questions about this supplement, please make sure that you get a hold of us at our office, 575 575-915-1550, or find us online at simplychiropracticlc.com. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the Zypan. Have a great day.